G'day world, Macaridden coming to you live from the garage for Myriad 2018. Proudly brought to you by Everledger and Invest Sunshine Coast. I'm here with Darren. How you doing, Darren?
Hi, Mac. I'm going pretty well.
It's been a while since Rocky.
It has been a while since Rocky. Been a busy time.
Yeah.
I'm glad to help people start their own startups, but I still got to work on my own.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us a bit about ProRoute.
So ProRoute is a next generation logistics platform where we supply tools and technology to people. Is that them?
Yeah, it's all good.
So we try tools and technology to existing logistic operators. So we do job management, operations, right through tracking, notifications, improving the client experience, number one. Number two, we increase deliverability rates, and we take care of the duty of care requirement that most people have. And a lot of companies forget subcontractors also fall under that. And because we use mobile phones as our primary tracking, we can onboard people and have elastic workforces and like come in and out whenever you want. And we find that a lot of people are very interested in that. Our product is a little bit complicated and offers different bits of value for different people. We also have done rest spaces, which was a partnership with the Department of Main Roads, which is for the heavy trucking industry, and we help them find safe areas for them to pull over and rest at the end of the day. It's called rest spaces. It is free for any truck drivers. We don't actively track them. We're all about delivering value. As you know, you've seen me before, I'm very value orientated, and we believe that with our ProRoute product, which is different value for different people, as I mentioned, in that we actually deliver value to everyone. So we ensure that the price you pay us, we're going to make you more money and save you more money. So I think products like that are very important to actually deliver real value into the companies.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about why delivering value is really important within a startup and a business.
Well, at the end of the day, these are operators, and there needs to be a business case for an expenditure. So we need to make sure that we generate much more value, be that in increased sales or decreased costs, than your product is worth. Otherwise, it's not core to have sustainable growth. People think it's flashy or think it's great. And don't get me wrong, my tech is still a bit flashy and I think it's pretty great. But at the core of it, we need to be making sure that we are delivering core business value, even though I've said core 3 times, but into those businesses to make them better operators. And if you have that value focus, then what you're really trying to make sure is that you're building a good, sticky product that you then have long-term business relationships with. Like we've got a bike courier who uses our product, and they do on-demand bike delivery, and we've been working with them for like a year and a half, and being able to make sure that we're delivering value to them and that it's easy for people to onboard and they can elastically grow out their network and drop backs in. And we find that some of that's like the gig economy, so we sort of compare that, and they find that some of those people are actually using multiple apps. So then we've switched to doing SMS for alerts because the push notifications are taking them out. So then the SMS pops in over the top, and like we're the only one doing the SMS, so they can see the job and jump straight in and grab that job. And because we're aware that those people are doing it, so we're really trying to make sure that we focus down on those core problems and use cases of these businesses and build solutions that aid them to be more successful businesses.
Great. And on the topic of that, give us a little bit of background of what your experience is. But obviously, before ProRoute, we met you at Startup Week and Rocky for the pitches and stuff.
I was at Myriad last year as well.
Myriad
I think I was on last year.
Yeah, there you go.
Last year I was the EIR dialogue. So I've been involved in startups here in Queensland for about 5 years. I do have a bit of a background in startups before. Back in Northern Ireland, I did some one that didn't work, another one that was around education, went into corporates, then came here, back into corporates, and then some of the startups are in the US. Like I'm involved in, this is my primary startup, and then I'm an advisor and a couple of others. I'm passionate about helping people succeed in entrepreneurship. I think Queensland's a fantastic place to live. Like I moved here from London. I don't want to go to Silicon Valley. I want to make this place a hub of people being able to grow businesses and create the jobs of the future. I think that a lot of the jobs that we know in a lot of industries are going to be disrupted, so we need to help each other. You know, this is Brisbane, this is the mud army. Let's get in and help each other to succeed. So if you go around, most of the people, I've probably touched at least half the startups in this garage where I've come in and just try to help them. No payment, no nothing, And I think that spirit of entrepreneurship and camaraderie will actually help us grow as an ecosystem. I'm passionate about it, and that's why I started with Game Facilitator. That's a volunteer thing. I've been doing that for years. And in 2 weeks' time, it's Rocky. I'll see you at Rocky. You're coming to Rocky?
I think so.
Yeah. So, and the last one I did was last weekend, which is, a big commitment. But at the same time, I'm very passionate about helping people develop and become better.
Amazing stuff, and it is very important to sort of have that collaborative nature, giving back. I call it return on community investment.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, no questions asked, or give back.
I'm a big believer in give first.
Yeah.
Give first, give often. You don't necessarily get a return, and don't get me wrong, you might get kicked in the nuts the odd time.
Yeah.
But things have got a way of working themselves out in the long run. And what you should do is you should optimize for opportunity and live by what I would call a regret minimization framework. Well, I don't want to regret not giving this a go in a couple of years. I don't want to regret not helping you. If you're successful, then I'm happy, if you know what I mean. And it's much better, in my opinion, to have a phone book of super successful local entrepreneurs than it is to have a few extra dollars in my pocket.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, relationships. Why is it important for relationships in this sort of entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Well, it's hard. Starting any business is hard. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. And it's difficult to have someone to talk to. And a lot of people are starting out. It's the first time. And it's good to have someone else who's in the same position or you, or a similar position, maybe a very different domain. But you can talk to them. You can get advice about what worked for them, what didn't work for them. At the core, a lot of businesses are very similar. We all have accounting. We all have sales. Some of us are doing investment. I'm currently not looking for investment. But, I've had investment before. And it helps people not make the same mistakes. And I truly believe that, it is locals helping each other that makes ecosystems, and not focusing on externals and not focusing on TechCrunch and those. If it's in that media, it's abnormal. And I think too many people focus on what's abnormal and not what is normal. Normal is probably going to happen to you folks. So speak to local people. What's happening to them is probably what's going to happen to you. And look, I hope abnormal does happen to you. But what I'd say is, prepare for now, but optimistically, some of this other stuff can take off.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Darren, for joining us.
Not a problem.
And be sure to keep watching for more lives across the garage. I'll be interviewing more startups. Proudly brought to you by Everledger and Invest Sunshine Coast. And we'll see you later for more. Check her out.
Hey, folks.